Shai Dub was just in here talking about, your poise, and he said, if Shai ain't panicking, I'm not panicking. Just where's that poise come from?
Say it one more time, sorry? Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, Dub was in here. He got asked about your poise, just in late game situations and in situations where maybe you have to weather a 39-8 run. And he said, if Shai ain't panicking, I'm not panicking. Just that poise, that level of, that calm demeanor, not just, outside the court, but, being able to constantly sustain that no matter the situation. Where's that come from?
Good question. I don't know. I just always play the game level-headed. I always try to just play the next possession in front of me and try to win that possession. Obviously, basketball is a game of runs, up and downs. Especially in a league so talented, it's going to be, I think they went on like a 30-13 run tonight. Yeah, something crazy. So it's ups and downs. You just got to try to turn the tide, and you only do that by taking it possession by possession, so that's what I focus on.
Yeah, and you mentioned that you kind of always had that, and, you kind of have to have that in a league like this where it's like a game of runs, but is there like another gear you have to tap into where it's a game like this where 39-8? It's not the only game you guys play like this in Dallas. You guys had that 30-0 run and you win that game. Like, is there another gear of that you have to kind of tap into for yourself?
For me, no. I just try to keep the same mentality no matter what the game is, no matter what's going on. We got out to a big lead because we were getting stops and playing well offensively. We got away from it a little bit, but because we were able to just kind of take it by possession, especially that last 8 minutes in the fourth, we were able to turn the tide by getting stops and getting out. But yeah, it starts by staying in the moment, I think.
So you mentioned it started by getting stops, and you had 3 steals, Lou, Dub had 3, Aaron had 4 off the bench. Just when you have guys that are as strong as they are defensively, and you match that with obviously the defensive schemes that you guys have, just how strong is that, and how important was that for you guys tonight?
Yeah, it's where we like to hang our hat every night. We know that when we are top of our game defensively, no matter what's going on offensively, we have a chance to win, and no matter who we play. So we had it for Spurs tonight. Now we got away from it a little bit, clearly. That's why they were able to go on such a big run, but we did enough of it tonight to get a W.
Your deceleration and ability to step on a dime is probably the best in the league and best the league's seen in a while. Curious, is that something that you have always had, or how did you kind of develop that throughout the years?
I kind of always played like herky-jerky and always like changing my pace. Now, the past couple years, I've really like worked on my athleticism and stopping and starting and stop and being explosive out of stops and starts in the summertime. And I've gotten really like powerful and really good at it. So I think I've always had it, but I just in the past couple years been able to take it to another level.
Go ahead.
Kevin Durant said earlier this week that Sam Presti really remodeled the formula of OKC to have a trio of 3 guys that pretty much alluding to himself, Russ, and James back 15 years ago. So do you see that parallel with you, Dub, and Chet, basically going up night after night and where you guys are from rebuilding since Kevin left?
I think there's 3 of them and there's 3 of us that are obviously a talented group of guys, but I don't really think like our games compared to theirs. Those guys are obviously 3 amazing basketball players and have done amazing things with this game and have changed the game forever. Me, Chet, and Dub, 3 kids just trying to get better. And trying to chase some of the things that they've achieved and trying to ultimately win an NBA championship. But yeah, there's 3 guys that are, I guess, the head of the snake, just how there was before.
Shai, you play in so many actions with so many different of your teammates, but tonight it seemed like you and Dub got a lot going kind of out top, and just working off of each other, ended up being able to close out the game, getting to your spots for those mid-range jumpers. What's that like, kind of working in concert with him?
Yeah, it's something we've been working on a little bit. We worked on it a couple of days after All-Star break. We know what kind of basketball is coming up, and in close, tight games, you want to have things that you can go to that are kind of pick your poison type of things down the stretch. And it's just something that me and Dub are working on, and we'll get a lot better at. But yeah, we definitely saw a little bit of it tonight.
And you had a big steal in the entry pass to Durant late. You seem to have this knack for denying entry passes, coming over on the weak side for steals on them. Is there anything about those situations that's really natural for you, or something that maybe growing up was like something that you knew you could always take advantage of?
I think I just watch a lot of basketball, so I know teams' tendencies. I know, like for that play, for that instance, I know like Nurkic can really pass, and Kevin's obviously 7 feet, a lot taller than me, so they were gonna try. Like if I was denying him, he's gonna try to go back door. But yeah, I just watch a lot of basketball and pick up on guys' tendencies, and I try to play off of them defensively and offensively.
I think this win moved you guys a half game ahead of the two teams that you're right neck and neck with, and first in the Western Conference now. At this point, like, this is when we start talking about MVP races, when we start talking about individual awards and things like that. How do you handle that kind of attention and that kind of discussion with your name? I think we're second in one of those straw polls that Tim Bontemps did and all that.
I try not to worry about it. I think it's what's got me to this point so far. I try to just focus on winning games and trying to be the best team that we can be, especially late in the season. We really want to be gearing up to our best form and who we're going to be, at least for this year. And that's all I'm really focused on. Now, the other stuff is obviously cool. It's stuff you dream about, and it'd be flattering to have, but winning games is most important for sure.
Go to the quarter?
Yes, I was just wondering what was going through your mind during that challenge sequence with, maybe your fifth foul and then things got changed.
Yeah, I know I felt my head made contact with Grayson. Now I didn't think it was like my fault, or I didn't think like I had hit him, so I was like, we might be able to go challenge it. And then coach just pulled the trigger, but that's pretty much all him. He made a gutsy play, and it definitely changed the course of the game.
Last question.
Shai, you just mentioned kind of staying present with the whole MVP thing. You kind of said that all year, but I did notice after the Tuesday win against the Rockets, and that post game when Jerry Greenberg asked you about MVP, and kind of framed it with the whole, where you guys are understanding and everything. You cracked a smile, which is like something you haven't done when asked that all year. Just Mark was in here talking before the game about the humanity and dealing with the buzz that comes with MVP. Would you say it's perfectly human to kind of dig into some of that buzz, right? Especially now that the season is a month away from being over.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's something that you dream about as a kid. It's something that is as a kid you feel like it's so far out of reach. Just being 6-year-old playing in your backyard and you screaming MVP or whatever it is, watching guys get MVP. It's something that you try to. Something that you just try to just soak it all in. I feel like in my past, when I've gone ahead of myself and focused on my goals and try to worry about whether I'm achieving my goals, I miss a step and I skip a step. And when I've been able to just enjoy it all, enjoy what's in front of me, stay true to who I am, it's worked out. And I've achieved some things in the past couple of years. So that's kind of how I kind of cope with it all and go through it.
Thank you, Shai.
Appreciate it.